Savannah Caleman stepped onto the porch planks, dropping a round gas can beside the door with a derisive metallic clink. Everything she touched was coated, fuming and combustible. Muted sunlight tumbled through foggy dusk. A warm afternoon wind blasted last winter's leaves from the aspen grove across the yard, scattering streaks of burnished gold in contrast to a bruised sky. The wind chimes danced with uneven low harmony, claiming the peace. The screen door smacked shut, bounced from the jamb, and came to a whining stop. Cool chain links grated in her clammy grip as she sat on the porch swing for the last time and started a gentle pace in an easy to and fro. Darkness poured from inside the house, the divided light panes contrasting Mother's sun-yellowed shears pulled back at the sides. The entire thing was tinder. A reluctant, sad smile tugged at Savannah's dimples. Soon the whole damned house would burn, the ashes a tribute to the ruin of her life, carried away by black smoke spiraling into the night sky. The minutes ticked by with the creaking of the swing as she fought the urge to get it over with, to strike a spark of life into looming death. Timing was everything. Oblivion was her reward for waiting it out. A mountain lion screamed in the distance. Finally. Savannah pulled a crushed box of matches from a dampened pocket, fingering the strike pad as the wind quieted. The family's horses trotted through the yard, experimenting with freedom. A fresh sob caught in her throat when her mare stopped at the porch steps and nickered to her. Savannah closed her eyes, tears cascading. So much hate fractured her heart. The bastard that drove her to such an extreme belonged in hell, and after what he'd done to her family, it was her pleasure to escort him through the flaming gates. "Go! Yeah!" she yelled, flipping an arm. The horses snorted and took off at a sprint toward the hayfield. The chime slowed as the wind calmed and eerie silence took over. She didn't react, just waited it out, watching her fuel-splattered cowboy boot swing above the painted porch floor. Tears dried, salty in the corners of her mouth. Strands of hair stuck to her cheek, but she left it that way. She'd assigned her lot. She was simply bait, a worm on a hook, a snared rabbit with a predator following her screams. The heavy scent of decay bounded from the trees, tumbling toward her on an invisible fog. For the first time, she wasn't terrified when the death scent thickened until it was the only tint on the air. Nausea rumbled in her gut and she swallowed hard. Mother had left 3 sleeping pills in the medicine cabinet, and Savannah had taken them to mute the sting. They'd done a little more than that, and she was dizzy as hell. But the time had come. She wiped her face on her shirt and slid from the swing, pulling the screen door wide enough to touch the side of the house as she hurried through to the stairs. Aged wood creaked beneath footsteps behind her, and to no surprise, the screen didn't slam, instead being caught and held open. A fist of adrenaline clenched inside her chest as she fought the urge to sprint up the stairs on wobbly legs. One careful step led another. Savannah ascended to her bedroom through a growing haze, closed the door, and dropped onto her bed. Wet linen clung to her t-shirt and skin as she backed against the headboard, feeling tendrils of her long hair clinging to accelerant dripping from splashes on the wall. A small line of saliva plummeted from her bottom lip, chilling her chin. She wiped it away with a wrist, amazed at just how screwed up she was after taking a few little pills. An empty stomach likely amplified the drug, which battled adrenaline in her system. The jarring thrash of beats against her sternum faltered, and she hoped her heart would soon give in to sedation. Tears mixed with cold sweat as she forced herself to concentrate on good thoughts and wait for the right second. She couldn't jump the gun and spring the trap too early. Savannah closed her eyes and focused on memories of her siblings. Chaz and Molly danced with her in the kitchen, red balloons tethered to their little wrists with strings, bouncing in rhythm as they giggled, singing along with Monster Mash. A weight anchored around her rib cage, pulling her against the mattress with soothing, cool waves of calm.